This weekly podcast inspires you to step outside of your comfort zone. My name is Zakir Muhammad, and I'm your host of the Living Legacy podcast. I am a cancer survivor, brand cultivating strategist, author, and world traveler. This Living Legacy podcast features women of purpose sharing stories of resilience. They are single and married. They are artists and entrepreneurs who run businesses and juggle parenthood. If you are ready to hear interviews about professionalism, entrepreneurship, travel, life, and love, you are in the right place. They will share stories of how they overcame adversity while seeing life through a different lens. Let's get into it. So today's guest on the Living Legacy podcast is Miss Tiffany Davis. She has over 10 years in the marketing industry. So now she's a serial multi-business owner with companies such as Tiffany Media Group, and Girl Mentor. Girl Mentor also has a podcast by the same name. She has a desire to encourage and inspire and educate women globally. So she knows her purpose already. She knows her legacy is she was meant to be. She created on this earth to lead and build her own. So she loved music, she loved entertainment, and that was her passion. She was 21 years old. She started as an artist manager at the Universal Warner Group. Later, after stepping away from that, she got into marketing a bit. Even though she loved the lane, she hated working for other companies. So she's naturally an entrepreneur. And so, despite unexpectedly getting pregnant, she then started writing a marketing plan for her own product, NutriFit. And NutriFit helps women everywhere to reach their health and weight goals. So today we're going to talk about all of that as well as intuition. So thank you, Tiffany, for being a guest on my podcast. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm great.
So, in your own words, what is it that you do?
Basically, I am an entrepreneur. Some people say I'm a serial entrepreneur, but I love to have freedom. And coming from a marketing background, I think I kind of had an advantage to position products in a way that would succeed. And that's ultimately what I did. I used the background that I already had and the knowledge that I already knew. I took it and I applied it to my business, and it just worked out. Like I've always just felt like whatever I put my mind to and my grind behind will absolutely succeed. And I guess opportunity and faith just kind of met each other at the right opportune time, and it really took my business to a new place. I'm also still a marketing consultant. I do enjoy helping people, kind of put their dreams together, their goals, their visions, and I like to bring people's visions to life. That's a gift of mine. And then I mentor, which kind of goes hand in hand with my consulting. I'm like the biggest Christian there is probably. I love encouraging and edifying and praying for people, and giving people direction and letting them see my life to know that anything is possible. And so that's just what I do. I just like to encourage people and motivate them and put them on the path that they feel, they're trying to go on. I kind of help lead, and bring that vision to life. So.
I love it. Now, I know there's a quote. I'm trying to put the math of it together in my head, but it's something like success or preparation plus opportunity make success. And then, of course, I feel like faith, consistency, and hard work also kind of make success. But with playing around with those words, what do you think are the key things to really following your intuition and following your path and your purpose, or even finding it for those who have not found it yet?
People say all the time, well, how do I know what my purpose is? How do I find my purpose? How can I get to a new place in my life? And my thing is, for me, is actually having a really strong relationship with God and knowing that spiritual side of yourself. I always say to be spirit led and not flesh led, because you can chase after the lust of the world, and that'll actually run you into a ditch. You'll be in a deeper hole than when you started. But if you actually chase after the things of your spirit, meaning your true essence, what you're actually gifted in, what you are naturally, like you just have a natural essence about your natural aura, and people are attracted to you because of that thing that you do or that personality you have, that oftentimes tells you what area you should go in. But I always say, like, your faith is key, and listening to God when you ask him, and not only that, but you have to be true and honest with yourself too. Like, what is it that you really, not that you like have this wild dream about, like we all want to have the American dream, right? We all want to be rich and have a picket fence and a big house and a mansion, we can name all those things, but what is it that you really would be satisfied with, if this were your career, or if this was something that you were able to do for the rest of your life? Are you a good giver? Are you great with friendships? Are you great with design? Are you great with concepts? Are you great with money, math? You only know those things about you. You wake up with yourself every day. You know what you're made of. And so my thing is, be honest, have a really good prayer life, be confident in who you are. Don't try to be someone else, and don't chase the wind, be really solid in who you really are and what you hear God saying to you.
I feel like this is also very much relevant because we're in this time where people have nothing but time to find that if they did not find it yet. So what are your tips for those who really just need to take a moment to just listen to themselves, their intuition, to find it if they have not found it yet?
Yeah, get quiet, cut off distractions, stop looking at other people's lives, turn off social media, do a fast if you need to. I think fasting is powerful. Starve yourself a little bit, tell yourself no, and turn all that energy into your faith. Like, I encourage people to fast, get really quiet so that you can only hear the voice of God, not social media, not your friends, not your family, not even you sometimes, because we can be our own worst enemy. You want to hear from God. So cut off the distractions, get really quiet, read your word or read something inspirational, and get those juices flowing again of who you really are without all the clutter, without all the distractions, without voices in your head. Cut people off, and get serious about your own life and your own vision, because everybody you're watching on social media and television, they know their stuff. They know their vision already. That's why that's why they're successful now. So you're watching their lives when you should be watching your life right now, so that you can be an inspiration to somebody else one day. So that's what I would say. I would say get quiet and focus on who you are.
This episode is sponsored by my new book called Seeing Life Through a Different Lens, a survivor's memoir on overcoming adversity with resilience. You can visit zakiranayar.com. Tell us about a time where you literally had to figure out that for yourself. Like, how did you know where? Of course, at some point we kind of get confused. Like, okay, I think I'm on the right path, but I don't know if I'm really there yet. What tools really helped you?
I knew Tiffany, and I believed in Tiffany. And at some point in your life, you're going to get to a place where you're stuck between, a rock and a hard place, right? And you don't have anybody else to depend on or turn to but yourself. And in that moment, you have to really figure out what you possess alone, not asking for any help or anyone's advice. What tools do I have in my own cabinet, in my own spirit? And so, I talk about when I, got pregnant suddenly, I didn't know what to do. And I had my son, and I was literally at zero. I had no money. I had no car. Like, I lost everything. I only had me, right? I only had me. I had to start all the way over, I had a big marketing job. I lost all that. So I had to use what I had. And I used to look at this sign every day that said, what did it say? It said, start where you are with what you have, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Use what you have or where you are, right now. And I would look at that every single day, and I was like, what do I have that I can use right now, for God's glory? That was at the end. And I was like, okay, I know marketing. I know that I have a little business savvy. I like to help people. So on my couch, I just decided to start offering marketing services from my couch. Like, why not? I know what I'm doing. And so that turned into me doing social media for entrepreneurs, so business owners. How did I get the clients? I hopped on Craigslist And I started looking for people who were hiring for social media people. Now, I knew I wasn't going to be able to go into their office. I didn't have no car. I didn't have, a babysitter, no money for daycare. So I would just email them independently and say, hey, you could save a lot of money by just hiring me. I'm half the fraction of the cost. I'm excellent in what I do. I have a long resume. I work for Cadillac. I did this, that, and the other, and guess what? They would take my word and hire me because they saved money. I knew what I was talking about, and I was very consistent. I worked really hard during that time to make sure that I was doing a great job, and that's another thing too. Like, you have to really be serious. When you don't have nothing else, be very serious and make sure if you are giving people a service that is excellent, and that's how I dig myself out of a hole and was able to build something for myself with zero. So you got to be creative. Just go for it.
I think the quote that was floating around in my head as you're speaking is something about being able to um, just kind of be creative also with what you have, but also in the terms of that's what entrepreneurship is about. You have to know how to root for yourself and pat your own self on the back.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
So, what other tips do you have for single mothers who are just right now, they're just focused on motherhood and maybe they feel like, is there more to life right now? So, what other tips do you have?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I've been there. There is more to life. And your child is a blessing. That is the thing that's going to keep you driven, that's going to keep you empowered, and always look at it like that. So if you're just, if you're stuck in a situation where it's just you and your child and you don't really have a lot of support, a lot of money, and you don't really know really where your starting place should be, I would say, listen, I turn everything to God. I turn everything to prayer. And it sounds like it's like the easy way out, but it's the best thing you can do for yourself. And get hungry, get hungry, because you'll realize you can't survive by asking people for stuff. That's not how you survive in this world. The most beautiful survivors are the ones who, like, they get it out the mud, like they go for it. And you have to be that person that wants to dig it out the mud and go for it. And whatever that may be, get creative and find a way to do everything that you need to do to not only support your child, but to be a great mom. If you need to stay at your job, stay at your job, and then do what you need to do, for your business on the side. But I will always say turn to God, because he can create miracles. You understand? We can't do that ourselves. I've seen him make miracles happen on my behalf so many different times. Had he not done that for me, I probably wouldn't be here right now. So that's the secret sauce for me, and I believe it's available for everyone. It's literally giving it all to God and working really hard to get it out the mud.
I believe it. I believe it. I'm also a woman of faith, and I firmly believe, through every adversity that I've overcame, it's literally been, you know, there's been help to get through everything because it does get difficult, and sometimes you're like, how? And even if the people around you are not those angels you were looking for, but there's always a way out, even if it doesn't seem like.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So we're wrapping up to the end of the episode. If no one else got anything else from this episode, what is one tip that you want people to implement and take away from?
One tip to take away from this is that if you're honest with yourself, if you're diligently seeking God, and if you are a believer of excellence and hard work, you can literally do anything. You can literally change your life with those three things. And it's like, have patience with yourself, but know that nobody is going to do it for you. And you have to dig deep inside and just remember who you are and believe who you are. Believe exactly what God says about you. And you can do anything. It sounds easier said than done, but that's the reality of life if we just believe it. So don't give up. And that sounds like cliche too, right? But don't give up. Just be clear about who you are. Get very clear. Even when everybody's going through this pandemic and it's, like we're stuck in the house, this is the perfect time to get clear about who you are, quiet down, listen to God, and just put your all into something. Now, I don't encourage people to do something new. But if you need to do something new, then now is the time to get it done. And if you need to do the assignments that were already given to you, now is the time to get it done. So that's my tip.
I feel like for me also, the word procrastination is taking on a whole new level. All the things that I did procrastinate on that were floating around in my head or hanging around on sticky notes are finally getting done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Me too.
So where can we find you on the web?
Okay, yeah. So my Instagram is at brand Tiffany. That's my personal page where I share a lot of encouraging words of wisdom and not a whole lot of business talk, but I will get there soon. You can also find me on Girl Mentor, which is my mentoring program. I leave encouragement there too. And then my business page is NutriThick. So just add NutriThick and you can find our products and, join the gang.
So of course, most of everything is online and virtual, but you also
Yeah.
are based in the Atlanta area.
Yeah, I am. I'm right in Midtown Atlanta.
Okay, so I guess we'll come by when things are open up again, huh?
Yeah, hopefully so.
Well, thank you, Tiffany, for being a guest.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Living Legacy podcast. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and download so you don't miss the next episode. If you want to learn more, you can visit ZakiraNayar.com. That's ZakirNayar.com. Do you have any suggestions on a topic you want to be talked about? Send me an email or leave them in a review. If you love this episode, be sure to share it with your friends.